Let's get underway with the first of 15 races here at Circuit du Val d'Argenton in Western France. Up first, it's Junior Rotax. Heat number 1, Groups A versus B. Let's go through your starting grid. After time qualifying yesterday, it was Belgium's Matej Denkovic that was fastest of everybody. He will start on pole position. Alongside him will be the Netherlands' Casper Schormans in the 2.40. Good pace from Joshua Graham representing the UK. He'll be joined by countryman Max Cuthbert on row number 2. Olivier Jonkers and Armand Hamilton will be on row number 3, with Lucas L and Alberto Kiko Fracassi completing the top 4 rows. The UAE's Zain El Homossani and the UK's Thomas Ingram Hill will close out the top 10. Dave Stevens, representing the Netherlands, will be joined by Lithuania's Tomas Rudokas on row number 6. Matteo Dauvergne and Knut Nielsen, representing France and Denmark, respectively, line up on row 4, with Germany's Noah Janssen, Canada's Ryan Gandor, Thomas Behrman from the UK, and Boulouet starting from the back row. The grid, Thomas Behrman unable to make it for qualifying, but has been given the opportunity to start here today. Boulouet was fastest in his group, but a technical non-compliance yesterday bumped the Belgian down to the back of the grid. So it will be down to Matej Denkovic and Casper Schormans to control the pace at the front of the field as they head their way up to the top part of the circuit at Dunlop, which is turn number 11 of this very, very fast and flowing and technical 12-turn, 1,280-metre circuit. Now the 18-strong grid get into formation, told to slow right down as they're going to be heading into the tram lines. And the lights are green. We are underway for the first time as they head down towards Clubhouse. Very deceptive first turn, right-hand kink going into the sweeping right-hander as, oh, someone's already gone off and has rejoined onto the circuit as the field makes its way to the far part of the circuit at turn number 4. This is the long drag down into turn 5 and 6. Joshua Graham looks to have gotten past Casper Schormans up to P2, now trying to close in on Matej Denkovic. A bit further back, there has been an attempted overtake, which has transpired. So they make their way through the Piff-Paff chicane up towards the right-hander at Dunlop. They're going to be pushing north of 105 kilometres an hour through this turn 12, sweeping fast right-hander onto the start-finish straights as we complete lap number 1. Radenkovic leads by just under a tenth and a half from Joshua Graham. Casper Schormans, Olivier Jonkers, Max Cuthbert round out the top 5. With Jonkers having made up a place as... Now, I'm not too sure. Oh, Casper Schormans! Casper Schormans is trying to pump the throttle hard, and the cart has come to nigh on a near-on standstill on the run through to turn 4. Olivier Jonkers was quickly round the outside of him through turn 3. So drama for Casper Schormans, who was pulled to the side of the road coming out of turn number 4, as that has allowed Joshua Graham to keep with Matej Denkovic. Olivier Jonkers rounds out the top 3. Max Cuthbert in 4th. That'll now be Zain El Homossani in the 2.95 for the Yaz Heat Racing Academy in P5. Lap 2 completed. As Joshua Graham was again within 2/10 of Matej Denkovic, just waiting and biding his time is the Brit from Argenti Motorsport. So quite a few changes have happened. Thomas Behrman, in the meantime, has got all the way up into 7th position and is chasing the quartet in front of him, which will have the likes of Dave Stevens in the 2.92 representing the Netherlands, rounding out P6. 4.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. It is getting a little bit feisty as Dave Stevens looking to close in on Zain El Homossani. Thomas Behrman has shot up from the penultimate place on the grid. Boulouet up to 11th as things stand as they come across the line to complete lap number 3. Radenkovic still has a fractional lead. It's just over 2/10 now As the 5 behind a line astern coming out of clubhouse. And a move there from Thomas Behrman up the inside of Taze Stevens. Great anticipation from the youngster from Chelmsford, younger brother of Oliver Behrman, who's currently competing in FIA Formula 2. He looks to have very, very good pace. He's going to launch it up the inside through on Zain El Homosani. Now takes 5th place as the 259 from the United Kingdom. So Behrman very much on the move. Now halfway through the race, we're about to complete lap number 4. Radenkovic still leads the way. Graham in second. The gap, is it starting to extend? It is, by just over a tenth to 0.326 of a second. Bollouet now is up into the top 10. He's got past Lucas Sells from France and now is up into 9th position. Noah Janssen past Matteo Dauvergne from France. That is a change for 13th place. There's Max Cuthbert keeping Olivier Jonkers, who's in 3rd position, very, very honest. And Cuthbert looks for a move up the inside, gets through. Outbreaks himself ever so slightly, but manages to still sweep in front of the 216 from Dams Racing to hold on to that 3rd position. And now the train is starting to extend. And that was Behrman up the inside of Jonkers, now up into P4, 13 positions gained by the 259, and now he's going for 3rd. He's going to get it. Cuthbert held out high and dry on the outside. El Homosani up the inside of Jonkers. Taze Stevens now gets through. And there is Tomas Rudokas from Lithuania, who's rounding out the top 8 and has an opportunity in his own right to try and make up some positions. Jonkers now looking for the slipstream, and he tangles a little bit with El Homosani, and Jonkers off the circuit and into the gravel. A slight touch between the pair, front to rear bumper, and Jonkers is the one that ends up with the rough end of the stick on that particular occasion. Now this has unlocked the opportunity for Thomas Behrman, who's now in 3rd place. It's a great move, a great set of moves. He got the job done early in the race, did Thomas Behrman. And still the battle for what is effectively 4th place. Bollouet has now found himself in front of Zain El Homosani. He looks for a move up the inside. That was through on turn number 3. El Homosani bumps over the curbs. Now that has allowed the 235 of Lucas Sells to get back through on the Emirati driver. And now Rudokas looks for a move up the inside. That was on Taze Stevens coming out of turn number 7. The Lithuanian making the move rather quickly and rather easily. Coming down to the last 50 seconds plus an additional lap of this race. And Radenkovic has led every single one of them. He's got a gap of just over 3.5 tenths ahead of Joshua Graham. Thomas Behrman from 17th now up into P3. Max Cuthbert in 4th. Thomas Rudokas rounds out the top 5 ahead of Taze Stevens. With Bollouet now 7th ahead of Lucas Sells, Zain El Homosani. And also some moves from Alberto Kiko Fracassi, who started 8th. Oh, bit of a swing wide coming through out of turn number 4 from Taze Stevens. That allows Rudokas to get up the inside now through into the double right at turns 5 and 6. And Louet is waiting in the wings now. Looks to get the undercut through at turn number 7. But the Belgian unable to make the move happen. The leaders now make their way into the final right-hander at turn 12 as we hit one more lap to go. Radenkovic has calmly gotten on with business and extends his gap over Joshua Graham to 5.5 tenths. As now Rudokas, that's a bit wide from the Lithuanian coming through clubhouse, and that's allowed the likes of Taze Stevens and Bollouet. Louet now goes up the inside of Stevens through turn 3. Great anticipation from the 224 from Belgium. And now that puts him up into a genuine 5th position behind Max Cuthbert from the United Kingdom. Through into turns 5 and 6. Now into the left at 7 for the final time. Leaders now making their way through. Thomas Behrman has had an absolute rocket ship underneath him because he's not too far away. It's going to be too close to call if he is going to get second position. But out of the final corner, it is going to be Belgium's Matej Radenkovic that wins the opening junior Rotax heat, followed by Joshua Graham. What a performance by Thomas Behrmann. From 17th on the grid to finish P3, ahead of Max Cuthbert. Bolowet starting from stone dead last, making up 13 positions in his own right to take 5th place. But Radenkovic calmly got on with business. Joshua Graham managed to get up into second position, and that is where he would stay, finishing 0.645 behind the Belgian from Bouvin Power. So Radenkovic wins the opening heats ahead of Joshua Graham, Thomas Behrmann and Max Cuthbert completing the top 4 places. Bolowet in 5th, having started stone dead last. Great performance for the number 224. Could have been a different story if he did not have the technical non-conformity after qualifying yesterday. Dave Stevens, Thomas Rotax, Zain El Homosani, Alberto Kiko Fracassi and Ahmed Hamilton round out the top 10, covered by 5.6 seconds after that opening race. Lucas Sells, and then we got Noah Janssen, Thomas Ingram Hill, Matteo Dovern, Ryan Gandor, Knud Nielsen and Olivier Jonkers making it to the checkered, and it was a real bit of a shame for Casper Schormans with technical dramas, more than likely engine related, which put the Dutch driver out on the second lap of the race.